So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my good friend, Dr. Ulrich. Doctor, welcome to the show. The doctor's been one who's been in contact with me since kind of the beginning of my coverage of Johnny Somali. He's one of the first people that reached out with some videos and some information on what Korean people were saying, kind of their perspectives. So if you'd like to let people know a little bit more about yourself, because of course I know you very well, but my audience may not know you very well. So if you could introduce yourself to my audience, that would be splendid.
Okay, I'm generally bad at self-introductions, so
aren't those required?
Yeah. Basically, I'm a language nerd. So I've been in Korea, it's 15 years now. So I've been living here, I work here. People say I'm Korean now because pretty much my whole life is lived in Korean language and Korean culture. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I teach in a university, and I caught on to the whole Johnny story a bit later, I think, because I saw bits of what Japanese people had sent me, and I thought if he doesn't get arrested, something bad will happen. And then he got arrested in Japan, and then I thought, I thought something bad would happen to him when he went to Israel. I'm surprised he survived that, to be honest.
He got lucky. He got lucky with Israel.
Yeah, and then when he came to Korea, I thought in the beginning he was okay, and then I thought, something bad's gonna happen. So I started to follow him, and then sending details to the Korean cyber police quite early on. Yeah.
Right. So you were one of the first. You were actually pretty early on sending stuff into the cyber division, to the cyber police. So they were getting reports pretty early on about Johnny Somali from folks like yourself, which I think is very helpful in getting their broader attention, I think, on Johnny Somali. So, all right, I'm going to play this video. So there was a video that you actually shared with me, and I thought this was great. Once again, thank you. But what I wanted to show this video for was because it shows the Korean coverage and what they're paying attention to, and some things that they've picked up on that even perhaps we haven't.
Yeah. So this YouTuber has been covering him quite a bit. Yeah.
But this is once again gotten to a lot of Korean viewers, so it kind of shows how they're interpreting this and interpreting the information they're getting. Some of which is the same as what we have, and some of which is actually different.
Fortress or the People's Republic of China. One time, and we're gonna do it again. Shout out to the CCP. Shout out Xi Jinping. Hell yeah, 중국 원수이.
조니, 소말리는 현재 한국에서 출국 금지를 당하고 한국의 어딘가에서 몸을 숨겨 안전히 지내고 있습니다. 하지만 최근 그의 친구로 알려진 행크가 또다시 한국으로 들어오면서 그들이 한국을 점점 도발하기 시작했는데요. 그들은 곧 부산에 더 많은 그들의 갱들을 모아서 민폐짓거리를 할 예정입니다.
I'll stop there. This planning to gather more of their gang in Busan.
That's what Johnny Somali was claiming that he's going to do. So she's explaining basically that what he means by a gang is not what Koreans think a gang means.
Yeah. It's not like a street gang. It's just like his streaming idiots that are going to go to Busan because they want to confront Ice Poseidon and crew because they've shunned them. So because Ice Poseidon and crew have shunned them, they want to confront them. They want to start violence. There's specific comments, which I think I show later, where Johnny says, I want to confront ABZ. So he's planning to physically confront these people, to try to start a fight, to try to start an incident, so he gets more attention. And so, people
Which is also a crime because it's incitement.
Right. He's trying to incite.
That's another crime.
Added to the list, right? Added to the list.
그때가 되기 전에 계속 영상을 올리며 한국을 도발하고 있습니다. 이번에는 이놈들이 중국을 찬양하는 방식으로 한국을 욕했는데요. 저번에는 일본을 가지고 한국을 모욕했고 그로 인해서 출국 금지를 당하자 이젠 중국을 가지고 이러고 있는 것인데요. 내용은 정말 어이가 없는 내용.
And I guess to be clear, because they mentioned that they were banned for insulting Korea. It wasn't because they're insulting Korea alone. It was because they were committing crimes in addition
Right,
to all those
Right,
things, right? So
The auto translate, it doesn't really give all the nuance. Yeah,
right.
It's really funny because her voice is so nice and polite, but she used a quite rude word when it said "these guys."
How would you explain the rude word? Like, was it like these? Like
it means
these...
guys. It means guys, but it's just like an impolite way of saying it. It's like a superior would talk down to
a child,
like an inferior person. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, mother? We're over here. We conquered the South Seoul Fortress, or the People's Republic of China. One time, and we're gonna do it again. Who you think sent Johnny Somalia here? Shout out to the CCP. Shout out to Xi Jinping. Hell yeah, 중국 원수의. 중국 원수의.
Yeah, this is the part that like that's not good Chinese at all whatsoever.
No. And the thing is too, the Chinese are not particularly very chuffed with this. Besides Koreans, the next largest population in this country are Chinese. They're even more sensitive about these issues than Koreans. So that's not a hole you want to dig yourself into.
So wait a second, Doctor. Are you saying the Chinese are not going to accept Hank and Johnny with open arms?
No. I'm sorry. It's never happening.
Look at all this land. You know, America and China should split this land in half. Right? Yes, sir. Hell yeah. 중국 원수의. And I got a message for all these Korean extras and niece who want to like pull their age on it.
여기서 행크가
Should I even I don't know, should I even attempt to let you translate the attempts at them cursing or what?
It's people will understand it. That's really bad Chinese swearing. So that's yeah. Just saying that in itself is going to be really annoying and disrespectful in the view of Chinese people in general. So
them saying it is bad.
Yeah, them saying it is bad because you're just saying like this random swear word out in the open to anyone, not in your own fighting conversation. So it doesn't bring people to your side. Let's put it like that. Swearing in Asia, people swear, but it's usually within a very limited context, and they don't go out and just say things like that out in the open, which doesn't do them favors.
In public sphere.
In public, yeah, it's considered very
rude,
very uncouth, very rude.
Got it. Let me continue here.
말한 중거 완수인은 중국 만세라는 뜻인데요. 또 이상한 헛잡소리하는 그들을 보니까 기가 찹니다. 그들은 자기들이 산속에 숨어서 저런 영상을 찍었기에 안전하다고 생각한 것인데요. 또한 예전만 해도
So you're laughing there. Do you have a comment?
Yeah. She's saying they're acting like tough guys in the middle of nowhere where no one can touch them.
Right, exactly. Which is what they've been doing for a while. They do look ridiculous.
또 도시 한가운데에서 영상을 찍던 소말리지만 이제는 그러기가 무서운지 사람.
It's true. They will not go in the middle of the city because they know they're gonna get mobbed if they go in the middle of Seoul. So they're going into the literal nowhere. Somali walks around in a hoodie covering his face. He doesn't wear the hat. He hides it, and then he pulls it out for the video, and then gets ready again. You can even see Hank is wearing a hoodie there too.
사람이 하나도 없는 산속으로 들어가 영상을 찍은 쫄보 같은 모습입니다. 하지만 아무도 그들을 찾을 수 없을 것이라던 생각과 다르게 그들은 지금 한국인들로부터 새로운 위협에 빠지게 되었는데요. 한국이 어떤 나라인가요? 신상털기에 미친 나라입니다. 특히 한국은 전 세계 최고 수준의 화이트 해킹 능력을 보유한 국가인데요. 이 영상을 보고 몇몇 한국의 익명 해커들이 움직이기 시작했다고 합니다. 여기서 문제는 바로 이들 뒤에 보인 이기와 담벼락에
So there's apparently there's a person here following them?
모습이 찍혔다는 것인데요.
They say you can see it clearly. I don't. Did you see
Hang
it?
on. Can you replay that bit again?
Well, yeah, I'm going to rewind this hacker part. So apparently they're saying that hackers are tracking them, right? So I'm just going to rewind this part here, right? Okay, here you go.
이 한국은 전 세계 최고 수준의 화이트 해킹 능력을 보유한 국가인데요. 이 영상을 보고 몇몇 한국의 익명 해커들이 움직이기 시작했다고 합니다. 여기서 문제는 바로 이들 뒤에 보인 이기와 담벼락의 모습이 찍혔다는 것인데요. 어느 한국의 해커는 이미 그들의 위치를 파악했지만 그들에게 뭘 해야 할지 모르겠다며 그들의 위치를 알고 싶은 한국인들에게는 그들의 위치를 직접 알려주겠다고 말하기도 했습니다. 한편 조니는
So I'll stop there. Yeah.
So you know they're filming and there's a brick wall behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So the hackers were able to pinpoint based on the brick wall where the brick wall was, and then triangulate that to whatever device they were using, and then find out their exact location.
Holy shit! They used internet autism in order to pinpoint them, and oh god, wow, GeoGuessr. That's great.
The Korean white hacking is quite insane. And there's a lot of competitions. Like my university, in the other campus, they have like hacking tournaments for students. They'll make like a dummy computer with a dummy system basically that they have to hack into and have prizes and that kind of thing. So the white hacking, because white hacking is a way to get around unethical hacking, because it's kind of to find weaknesses in the system, that kind of thing. So these kind of people with their autistic skills were able to pin down based on a brick wall. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the whole white hat versus. It's like white hat versus black hat.
Brick wall.
Yeah, so it's like the good side of hacking versus the evil side. For those that aren't familiar with the terms white hat and black hat, and then gray is like, is it morally ambiguous? But that said, that's very impressive, and yeah, I know there's people that can do that, and I know they have the power, but the fact is that they've pissed off enough people that they now have people that could be doing other things spending their time tracking Johnny and Hank, and now they can track them around, I guess, and find out where they are. I mean, that's pretty great. All right, let's continue.
아직도 정신을 못 차렸는지 제2 한국 전쟁을 시작하겠다는.
This is actually from my stream here. So this is where I showed this clip. And by the way, everybody is free to do the same thing this woman does and this channel does. I absolutely endorse and support people using clips on my channel or any information to make their own videos and get the word out there.
말을 팬들에게 알렸는데요. 그는 한국에서 있었던 첫 번째 일은 소말리의 제1차 한국 전쟁이고 이젠 제2차 한국 전쟁을 시작하겠다고 알렸습니다.
Right? That's Hank's words, not mine. Hank said that. So, yeah, he's officially praising the CCP, attacking South Korea, pretty much slandering South Korea. Says, I low-key need that. It's going to be Korean War Part 2 when he goes live. So he is planning to at some point come back and go live. Just not yet. This was before we saw some of his videos. So we saw like this comment, and then literally within a couple hours he posted those weird photos with Hank, those TikToks where he's in Hank's room and it's clear he's in Hank's room. So he's been making content now. He hasn't gone live in the sense that he hasn't turned on his own stream, hit live and open it up for live streaming. But what he's done is he's made these TikToks and other videos which don't really have live comments or anything else enabled. So he hasn't yet gone live, but he has made content. Anticipating, he knows that when he comes back, it's going to be a problem, that there's going to be issues. He also knows that there's going to be beef with other streamers. And in fact, he's trying to start beef with other streamers. That's kind of part of his gig. So here's the one I told you about, where he kind of confirms that at least one other streamer, ABZ, is going to come to Korea. I
really can't wait.
And since, by the way, this was earlier, and I've since confirmed with multiple sources that the intent was for that whole group to come to Korea. They were planning, their whole theme was 100 days in Japan. Well, anybody who knows anything about a tourist visa knows that you cannot stay in Japan for 100 days. That's impossible. You must leave and come back, and that'll allow you to renew your visa, your tourist visa, for another 90 days. So you can get 180 days kind of back to back, theoretically. Now, the funny thing is, for this crew, once they leave, based on the reports they have so far, there is nothing preventing immigration from denying them all. And actually, there's been recent cases. In fact, I was watching one of it was a UK activist, and they were actually denied entry to the US on a tourist visa, right? So presumptively, they should have been allowed to the US. The US just said no. And people get mad about it, but I'm like, that's our right as a country. We do not have to admit any particular given person. We can just say no. So Japan could just turn around and say, yeah, we're not giving you another 90 days. Maybe try again later.
Like you've said in previous videos, just because you have a passport doesn't mean that you have the right to be in another country. That's completely at the discretion. Even if the border guard doesn't like you for whatever reason, it's within their right, without having to tell you why, that they don't let you into the country.
I mean, a passport pretty much just allows you to leave your own country, if you think about it.
It's an identity document. That's all it does. It says who you are. The little funny script on the inside, let the bearer pass, that's all just fluff to make it look nice, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's not your right to be anywhere in another country.
Let's continue.
Meet ABZ, who's another streamer. This is another nuisance streamer in Korea. So he's already planning to, apparently he knows that this guy is going to come to Korea, or he's heard this guy is going to come to Korea, and he's planning to confront him for quote unquote the content, which is kind of verified by these text messages he has with ABZ.
이놈을 진짜 어떻게 해야 할까요? 한편 한국의 커뮤니티에서는 모두들 제2차 소말리의 전쟁을 환영하고 있다는 소식도 들려옵니다. 반응들은 오히려 좋다. 황금 고블린 2차 이벤트 시작인가? 같은 반응들이 있었습니다. 다만 여러분, 소말리는 현재 유튜브
Is that translation Cash Goblin? Is that accurate?
Yeah, so she's saying some people are like, okay, come try your luck. Basically, we'll sort you out. If you want to start the second war, then we'll win the war. Basically,
yeah.
So if people are saying that, that's another reason to don't come to Korea. Go back to wherever you're from and just go flip burgers. I probably don't have even the skill to do that, but
Yep. I don't think I said this before. I don't think he can get a proper job. I think he would be fired from any job that he came. People would report him to people would be calling his management. I mean, I don't think he can go anywhere really with his level of notoriety. And his real name is out there, Ramzi Khalid Ismail. So people now know widely about who this guy is.
를 창출할 수가 없습니다. 커뮤니티 가이드라인을 넘었기 때문이죠. 그 때문에 현재 소말리는 자신이 속한 갱의 멤버들을 불러와 잠깐만요. 이들은 자기 자신을 갱이라고 부르지만 사실 갱은 아니고 그냥 방송인 친구들 모임
They're
같은
just a gathering of dumb streamers.
Yeah.
They're not a real gang.
So if you say gang in Korean, it's not talking about like a street gang. It's more the idea is like a mafia type thing, like an organized a bit. Yeah, there's different words we use, but like gang is like a more organized, guys in suits kind of criminal organization.
갱 아니에요. 아무튼 이들의 친구들을 부산으로 모아 제2차 한국 방송 전쟁을 시작할 계획이라고 합니다.
Hello to the people.
This is the one that was shot in Hank's room. A lot of people said this isn't the Chinese flag. This is the Chinese PLA flag. So they weren't familiar with the PLA flag.
And the creases are even the same. If you're going to try and make a different background, at least try to make the creases in your flag a bit different. Make it look mildly not the same.
When you can see the same frame of the poster that he's got over here in this little kind of setup on the left-hand side, that's also the same as Hank's video. Like clearly exactly the same.
of Japan and the people of the world. I want to make this message because I've been gone for a long time. Let me introduce myself if you don't know me already. I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal.
I'll stop it here. His name is, you always have to point it out, Ramzi Khalid Ismail.
Since live streamer gang called CX. I am a high-ranking member in the black sheep of the family. We are ran by our top leader, Ice Poseidon. He's the leader of CX and Miskiff, the leader of OTK. We are part of a live streaming international criminal mafia of nuisance streamers that have came to Japan to bring you freedom, to bring you American values. You weak will never stop us. You will never stop CX. You will never stop Johnny Somali. You will never stop Ice Poseidon, Paul Danino, who is my mentor, my teacher, my leader.
It's trying to once again get that association so that he and also like people know his name, but saying his name and then trying to put that out there so that Japan punishes him.
If it was not for Ice Poseidon, I would have never came to Japan. And if you try to arrest Ice Poseidon, if you try to stop Paul Danino or any of our group, if you try to stop ABZ Abdullah, the terrorist, the one that paid for all of our deals, if you try to stop ABZ Abdullah, the fat fuck, I promise you I'll be back in Japan soon. You'll never stop Kang Joel.
He cannot go back to Japan.
He can't go back.
A hard ban for any crime. Any crime, you're getting a 5-year, right?
Yeah, but 5 years is also just, it's the number 5 year, but they can indefinitely just keep renewing it. They don't ever have to let him in, even when it runs out. I don't know if people don't understand this. It's the same for Korea or China. If you get banned for 5 years, it's not really 5 years. It's pretty much just a ban. Unless there's some crazy situation where like your relative is dying here and you have to come to help them, or there's a funeral or something like that. There might be some extenuating circumstances, but otherwise they don't owe it to you to let you in after the 5 years.
Yep, they don't have to. They can look at it and say, yeah, no, we're not letting you in. Like we know who you are. Oh, we're well aware. We have a special file. We have little notes here, in the immigration file that's digitized and say, yeah, you're a nuisance streamer and you've caused nothing but problems here. Yeah, we're not letting you in.
Yep.
And these people used to be able to get away with this when systems were not digitized, but even Japan, which is very analog, has moved a lot to digital systems. So even the places that were analog are becoming digital. Even here in Thailand, they're digitizing a lot of stuff. So,
right.
People slipping through the cracks is not going to happen as much, particularly with people who are problems abroad, which is why people should I encourage people to behave when they're abroad. Once again, if you inadvertently and accidentally break an obscure law, that's probably not going to end you getting up in major serious trouble where you're banned forever. But if you are out there intentionally doing things to cause a scene, to cause pressure, and many of which can be illegal or questionably illegal, that's a different story, and that's what we have here. A lot of people try to say, well, Andrew, have you never broken a law in your life? No, of course I have, right? I've been caught speeding, etc., right? But there's a difference between, exactly. Yeah, I know. I know, it's horrible. It's horrible, right? It's absolutely horrible. I'm a horrible human being, right? There's a difference between doing things, number one, in your home country, right? Where you're aware of the laws or you're aware of like risk reward. And if I speed, am I going to get caught for doing 5 miles an hour over? Is that the acceptable limit? Versus, hey, I'm going to, yell at somebody, threaten them, right? Maybe say that my friends are going to hurt them. I've got a text message, which I'm not even going to bring up today because I thought about it and I want to censor it. But Johnny has repeatedly threatened people with violence and threatened to use himself and his fans to execute violence against others, which is generally not okay in any country.
I would say not. Yes.
Yeah.
Most countries have incitement laws for reasons such as that.
You'll never stop Sama, Showtime, and all these. We will destroy Japan, and I promise you, if you arrest any of them, if you stop any of them, if you attack any of them, I will come back to Japan and I will bring back vengeance.
But you
us
can't.
Streamers, we run your country.
He literally can't do any of this. Yeah, this is a completely empty threat. Like there's no teeth to this.
I mean, saying
Yes,
that makes him look bad because everybody knows he can't go there. I don't understand what the
It's been
point of
known.
this-
He not only is he banned from Japan, he can't even leave Korea yet. So how he can go there is just insane.
chat. And make sure you take out Mizkif. This is the leader of OTK. This is the top general. These are the two top leaders. This is the CX vice president and the president right here. You need to get Mizkif and you need to get Paul Denino Ice Poseidon. With the CX in chat. I love you, Paul Denino. You're my mentor, my leader, everything. Sayonara.
부산. 한바탕 태풍이 불 것으로 예상되는데 왜 하필 부산으로 정한 것인지는 모르겠지만 현재 소말리의 친구들이 전부 일본에서 민폐짓거리를 하고 있고 부산으로 가는 비행기가 인천으로 가는 비행기보다 값이 더 싸기 때문에 비용을 절약하기
I don't know what you're saying there, but I would speculate because the translation blinked out. But I would speculate, just in my personal opinion, that it's because they're going to take the ferry there because they were trying to take ferries. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to do that, especially after the video we show after this, whether or not they're actually going to be able to ferry is up in the air because I think the goal for them was to be streaming 24/7. So they were going to try to be streaming the entire time.
Well,
and
well
not turn the stream
she was saying that it might be because the Busan has a long kind of history with Japan, so there's a lot of travel and trade between Busan and Japan. So airplane tickets are quite a lot cheaper from Busan. So she was saying they might be going there because basically the tickets are cheaper to get there. Yeah, it's one of the few cities that's directly connected, as you said, with the ferry as well. I wanted to go on the ferry, and then it's like I have to go to Busan and then go to Japan. So I just end up flying.
See, it tends to be a little quicker. I think, my friend Josh took it from Osaka, and he says it's a nice experience, but obviously it's not the fastest way to get there.
No.
By far. People in the chat are saying Miskith isn't a nuisance streamer. He's just entering Japan. Look, I'm not trying to call anybody out specifically, etc. I'm just trying to say this is what Johnny was trying to do. Obviously, he's mad because he's kicked out, right? And then people are saying he's not even in Japan anymore. Remind you, Johnny made this video, like 2 weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago now. So obviously, I think he was there and then he did leave. And a lot of the streamers have since left. DBR 666 left. I think Sam Pepper left. World of T-Shirts left. So a lot of the streamers that were there and caused problems ended up taking off.